Hi, I'm Jerry James Stone. I'm here with Cooking Stone, and we have Ashley Roudston, who's probably best known as the Beer Wench on Twitter. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming and hanging out in my kitchen with
Dude,
me.
I'm so excited.
Ashley, what drink are we going to be making today?
We are making a crazy concoction that I refer to as liquid pie.
Liquid pie.
Yes.
I'm already in.
It's fresh blue and blackberries. I love blueberries and blackberries. They're my two favorite. And so I decided I was going to do something using both. And I couldn't figure out what I was going to do until I figured out bourbon was going to be delicious, because bourbon's got that vanilla, the caramel, that oaky flavor. And it's a sweeter spirit. And so I was like, I have this vanilla, I have these berries. Oh my gosh, I'm like making some sort of dessert here. And then I threw in some beer, and a Pilsner added like that biscuity pie crust flavor, and it just melded everything together, and it just tasted like this fresh berry pie explosion with some caramel sweetness from the bourbon and a little bit of biscuit notes from the beer.
And you can never really go wrong with bourbon.
No.
I mean...
Yeah, true. But I had to make it a summer cocktail, so a lot of bourbon cocktails can be a little bit heavier, right. More winter focused. And so this one, using a lighter style beer like a Pilsner, which is extremely carbonated, helped brighten it up and lighten it up.
Awesome. That sounds really tasty. So one thing about this drink you were mentioning earlier is that it's really about the presentation. This is sort of like the food porn type thing that we know does so well online. What is it about this drink that makes it work?
Well, I'm pouring it into a champagne flute. So the Pilsner that I'm using is Trumer Pilsner out of Berkeley, California. It's a German style Pils, and they have their own glassware for this Pilsner because Pilsner is one of the most carbonated beverage or beers out there. And it's a very tall cylinder glass, similar to what this looks like, and they pour it just straight down the middle and then down the side to finish it off. And it creates this nice, big, fluffy head. By restricting your surface area, forcing the carbonation to rise up out of the drink. Okay. So I pour the Pilsner in at the very last minute, and then the really restricted surface area in the champagne flute forces all the carbonation to push this beautiful pink foam to the top. And the foam itself tastes so yummy, like, I don't know, whipped cream on a liquid pie. So
what other spirits would go well with a Pilsner?
Oh, a Pilsner is very, very light. So I think it would be a great addition to any cocktail that you would already put soda water in, or even tonic. Oh, this would probably be very good with gin and tonic because it would add a little bit more flavor than you would find in tonic without so much of the bitterness, but it still has enough bitterness. It would also be a good replacer for soda water in a mojito.
Oh, interesting. When you're creating a cocktail, do you use food as an inspiration? Is like pie an inspiration? I mean, that's sort of a unique thing for a sort of culinary cocktail.
Well, it's the same thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of the book Culinary Artistry or What to Eat with What You Drink. The focus of those two books are classic pairings of ingredients. So one happens to be beverage with food. The other one, Culinary Artistry, breaks down basil. It breaks down all the categories of different foods, and underneath it, it'll list all the classic pairings. So there's a reason why all these flavors in a pie work together, and they're very familiar, and they hit trigger points in people's mind, these mental flavors that we're familiar with. And so not necessarily imitating those flavors, but finding that similar profile by pairing different ingredients together is optimal.
Outside of, making liquid pie, what are some other inspirations you have for making cocktails sort of inspired by when it comes to these types of food items?
In the winter time, I made this really awesome gingerbread flip cocktail that was inspired by gingerbread. The company I work for, which is Bison Brewing in Berkeley, and we make a gingerbread ale, which is a spiced porter. And so I paired spiced rum with it. We shook it with a full egg. Sounds creepy, but it creates this creamy body, almost like an eggnog, because that's where eggnog comes from. We made a homemade ginger syrup, and so it was this rich, milkshakey, gingery, toasty, nutty, delicious drink that tasted like gingerbread.
I kind of want one now. Is June too late to have one?
The beer's not available, but I could probably still make the recipe for you.
Okay, great. So where can we find other drinks that you've made?
Oh, beermixology.com. It's a website I founded with a couple of my friends all over the country. Mixologists, beer industry professionals, as well as bartenders. Anybody interested in the beer cocktail movement.
Okay.
And anybody who's interested in that's watching right now and has any of their own recipes they want featured on beermixology.com, throw them my way. you.